Awesome.
Hi.
Uh, let's go.
Lit things. We back.
Oh,
Hope everybody had a great Christmas if you celebrate.
yep.
Happy holidays if you don't. So,
Yeah, really fun. Uh, fun weekend. Like I talked about before.
mhm.
We got to go on the Seven podcast, and so
Is
uh,
balling. You is.
a little bit balling. Um, but I got to go on. There are always questions in the comments, and then I get questions in the DM. So I thought it would just be fun tonight to answer questions
Yeah,
that we got asked. So
sure.
I want to start with honorable mentions.
Okay.
I definitely want to start with that.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna say everybody's handle. If you want to know their handle, you're gonna have to go to the Seven podcast and check out their handles
Mhm.
in the chat. If you do so dare, have a good time.
Good luck.
um, but I did want to give an honorable mention to Pool Boy. He actually called me a chick.
Shout out.
I was absolutely super. I was like, "Oh shit, yep,
Mhm.
whatever." And then then he asked the question, and it's an honorable mention because the question showed up on the show, but I didn't really answer it, so I'll answer it now. Can I be your thruple? And so we don't really
I
share.
was gonna say, and the answer is no.
That's not. We don't. Yeah, but
Flattered that you'd ask, but no.
but the response to him, which also I will give an honorable mention, is Barry.
Okay.
And when Pool Boy said, "Can I be your thruple?" Barry was like, what did he say? Something about about scissoring us.
Jesus.
I was like, I don't think you know how that works.
I don't think so either. Oh, God.
Also,
No.
right. Like,
No.
I mean, it's not to say that I don't think Pool Boy could pull it off because he has fitness, because that takes a lot of fitness. But the anatomy, he would have to tuck. Like, that's not
Yeah.
how that plays out.
Yeah.
But okay, cool, super fun. Honorable mention. I like it. Whatever. I
Answer is
will
still no,
again. I will
but pool
answer
boy.
any question.
Yeah.
But
No. The answer is no.
thank you, Barry, for asking about said things. And then another one, which I do love because I love this joke. So this is an honorable mention too. Is Jake asked Savon to ask me if I liked Wendy's, and no, Jake, I don't like when these nuts cross any part of my face whatsoever. But I do enjoy Wendy's, the franchise, when I'm, you know, in the area. So thank you.
For the question.
I, and I do love those jokes. I
Yeah.
like Wendy's. I like the Wendy's jokes. Like I
Mhm.
like these nuts jokes. Like pause, Jeffrey, shut up. But it's and Jeffrey, I mean the one that's behind the scenes. But I they're funny, they're hysterical. I love them. So thank you. I appreciate that. Uh the other one that I really really liked and is my favorite honorable mention, uh Zach. He came into the podcast late
Okay.
and called, or he was like, "Hey, I just thought that was a feminine dude." And I do really appreciate that just because I've never
I was
heard
say
that.
that's a new one for
Yeah,
you.
like that was brand new,
Mhm.
and I get that because if I'm a girl who's butch, I'm kind of I Zach, you weren't wrong, bro. Like maybe not. That's not what I'm going for. I'm not going for feminine dude, but
Yeah.
like
Appreciate you
yeah,
for some
I,
for
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 a fresh
perspective.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I did. I
Sounds
really
good.
did.
Yeah.
Um
Honorable mentions. Now the best part is I don't know any of these.
no,
So this was the fun part that you
yeah.
weren't going to share with me any of these questions or
No,
honorable
I
mentions.
wanted
So
to and then
I do remember the pool boy one because I was watching
yeah.
when you were on Stavon's podcast. So I did see that one and laughed hysterically at that one. But all the rest
Yeah,
of
it's
them,
fun. Yeah. Like not mad at it. I
no,
like it a lot.
no.
Oh,
Again, I'm flattered. Thank you, but no, it's still a no.
and the last one or
Honorable mention.
yeah, last question. Well, all right, fine. The first question out of all
Oh, the
is
actual question.
yeah,
Okay.
from Nate. He asked me if I was 12 daily doses. And no, I'm not 12 daily doses. I, he 12 daily doses was a character in the chat that had a lot of issues with Savon and kind of issues with the chat and issues with no, I wasn't 12 daily
Yeah, because
doses.
I was like, who the hell is 12 daily
Yeah,
doses?
that was a big figure in there. So,
Oh,
yeah. No. I'm Nate. I am not 12 daily doses. And all right, so that was the fun stuff. Now on to the more like
the actual questions.
yeah, the longer questions.
All right. What do we got?
All right. So we'll go with we're it's kind of whatever. They kind of mesh together, but the first one, which always happens when we talk about how tall our kid is how tall are you? Like Jeffrey asked, how tall is Colleen? So
I am 5'11".
right.
I'm 5'11".
So I'm 6 feet and my wife is 5'11. So
5'11".
everybody always says that our kid is going to be tall because I'm 6 feet and she's 5'11.
Yes.
No, because I have nothing to do. But to answer Jeff's question, uh, we picked a donor that was pretty much identical to me.
Mhm.
And so because Colleen is 5'11 and the donor that we picked,
6 foot.
yeah,
Mhm.
he was, I'm 6 foot. I, I fluctuate between 188 and 195
Yep.
comfortably.
Mhm.
And so that's kind of what we picked. I think our donor was 6 foot or 6'1", 210, something like that.
6 foot 2 something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was
I
as
haven't looked at
close.
I haven't looked at his stats in a while.
So it was as close as we could possibly. We could,
As you see, our
yeah,
kid looks very
right,
much like both of us.
yeah.
So we did good. Yep.
So and that was a question in the DM. We just answered how tall is a biological father. So we just answered that.
Mhm.
And then what ties into this one is Matt asked, did we pay for sperm? Yes.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we paid for sperm. It came via FedEx. That's
Yep.
what I was trying to get out. FedEx.
Yep.
And yeah, it was a whole get it, sign for it.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, we did. I mean, we briefly had the conversation about picking a donor that we knew.
Yeah.
But I was very adamant about not for the protection of you. You know.
Yeah.
So it was a conversation that we talked about a lot. For a while, you were very much an advocate for having somebody that we knew.
Yeah.
And I very much was against that for your protection to make sure, because, you know, you have people that say all the time, like, oh, I
I'll
don't
just be the
I'll
uncle.
just be the uncle. I don't want a kid or whatever, but you don't know what that feels like until you hold a baby that starts to grow up looking exactly like you. And
Yeah.
even
That'll
signing
change your perspective immediately.
yeah, and even signing away rights and all this type of stuff, it still was just something I was very, very adamant about it not being something that we knew. We did discuss finding a donor that was considered open. And what that means is that when our son turns 21, the cryobank will release his information, his
Yep.
biological father's information to him and only him, not to us. Release it to him so that he can reach out. So our son can reach out if he so chooses. The only loopholes with that is that just because they were an open donor doesn't mean they have to stay an open donor.
Right.
So we do take that risk of him deciding I don't want to.
Yep.
We also don't know how old he was when he donated and where he is now in his life and what if he's got his own family and so as much as we did the best we could by choosing an open donor, he could still change his mind by the time Bubs
Also,
is 21.
Our son is in the sibling registry. He is, I think, right now the oldest of 10,
11.
11.
The oldest of
Yeah.
11. Yep.
Um,
Looks to be.
obviously not by us, but
Yeah.
our son is the oldest of. He's got 11 or he's got 10 siblings.
Yep.
He's the oldest of
Looks
11
looks
total
to be the
kids.
oldest right now.
So yeah, but he'll always have that, and we'll always try to make sure that he gets to stay in touch with his siblings because that's very important to me because I have 5 half siblings. You have 1.
Well, technically, I have my father's first marriage too. So I technically have a brother and sister from my father's first marriage. But they're much older than me
Yeah.
and were never really part of the conversation in my life. My father's briefly mentioned, I think his daughter came and saw him randomly like before you and I got together. So, but they never really growing up, they never really talked about him. I didn't really know anything about them. And, for me, I have a half brother from my mother. And then I have my full-blooded brother. Him and I both have the same parents. And then I'm the youngest. So I have a relationship with my eldest brother on, from my mom, but I've never really had any sort of, I guess, interest, for a lack of a better word, to connect with my other siblings.
Yeah, some people do, some people don't.
Right.
I always did.
Right.
And my parents, or at least my mom, who she made sure that I knew who my siblings were, who my
Right.
dad was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always grateful for that.
Yeah.
So I definitely was. So I mean, it depends on how you
Yeah.
feel about it, how you think about it.
Yeah, but for
But at least he has the choice, right? Like
Exactly.
he can choose it,
Yeah.
not choose it.
Yeah, for sure.
So then we have okay, here we go. This is normally what we always get asked. But how and when did I know I was gay? So how did I know I was gay came from Barry, and when did I know I was gay came from a DM. So I guess I'll start with how did I know I was gay? I guess I just didn't. I would love to ask straight people that. And I have. And it's the same thing that I always say is you just kind of know.
Mm-hmm.
When did I say like, hey, I'm gay? I was probably 19.
When did you know, though? Maybe you didn't say it, but when did you know?
Everything, all of that was probably in my freshman year of college, that
Mhm.
18, 19-year-old thing.
Yeah.
If you want to go to my trauma, I'm not really sure if that pushed me there faster or I went down that road faster,
Mhm.
But I didn't really go down that road fast either. Um, so yeah, I think I think you kinda know you're gay the same way that you know you're straight. You just do. You're just kind of attracted to who you're attracted to.
Mhm.
I I'm one of those people that, like, I had trauma when I was young, so I don't know, I'm still kinda thinking about that and still trying to to figure out how that affected me, but I may never know, or I might figure I don't know. I just know that it wasn't something I was thinking about when I was, in middle school. It wasn't s or elementary school. It wasn't something that I was, really trying to discuss when I was in middle school, and really only became a discussion when I was, like, a freshman, sophomore in high school.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
I would say that. I would say just the same way that you just kinda come into your own as you are going through those, middle school, teenage, high school years, you figure out who you are, same thing.
Yep.
I would say that.
Yeah.
So,
Um, I had no idea for a very long time. I had boyfriends in high school, and um, I met my ex girlfriend when I was 18, and I had a boyfriend at the time. We just became friends.
Mhm.
And then we became really good friends. And then my high school boyfriend, we graduated from high school and he left. He moved down south to go to college, and we broke up, and I became even closer to, my friend at the time. And then one thing turned to another, and I started to realize I had feelings for her. And then, I started to explore and very much realized that, like, I am really attracted to her, and I really attracted to being with women or being with her. And so then I dated her for a couple years, and then I met you. So
yeah, and you never said you were gay until we had been married already. We were,
yeah,
like, 3 years into our marriage when you
yeah.
said it.
So I started figuring out that I was when I was 19, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
And then I didn't really say it until, yeah, you and I had been married for a couple years. So,
And I think that's how it should be too,
yeah,
right? Like, I can answer the question, I can say it. I don't know how it is for everybody. Uh, I I I can speculate how society affects kids and what's happening affects kids, but I definitely didn't. It just was. You just figured it out. It wasn't a thing that was talked about. It wasn't. You just. I mean, it was there. You could see it. You kind of knew who was there. There was this kind of feeling of um, you're a little bit different, but
yeah,
there wasn't. You weren't. Oh, there's this and there's gay and there's straight, and I have to figure it out.
yeah.
There wasn't that. We didn't have that. I don't know if you had that. I definitely didn't have
It
that.
started to be a thing where in the community support that I found, because I had found, we would call her our fairy gay mother.
Yeah.
So I had a fairy gay mother who invited me to come to group. We used to call it group, where you could go and be supported and talk it out and kind of navigate what was going on and how you were feeling and whatever. And that's when I really felt the pressure from the community as well as my ex. As much as also too, my ex had been out for years.
Yeah.
She knew exactly who she was. And as much as she was understanding, because I just said, I just need to take it slow because I don't know what's going on. I don't know how I'm feeling. I'm feeling a lot of things right now, and I'm not really sure. And I've talked about this before. I come from a dance background. I was a dance teacher, and being gay in the dance world, working with young children, like, is very frowned upon because, oh my God, you're gay. You're staring at my daughter a certain way. Or if you're a gay man, you're staring at my son a certain way. So I was very I was very nervous about being able to come out in the dance world.
Yeah.
And so as much as she was like, "I get that. I support you. I understand." There was also a lot of pressure to come out. So there
I think that's why it makes it a little well, not a little, very difficult for us to come out now. And because when I was growing up, it was difficult to be a gym teacher, right? If you came out and you were
Mhm.
gay and you were a
Mhm.
gym teacher, parents didn't want your kid around gay
Right.
gym teachers.
Right.
So,
Well, that was very much the stereotype
and
and the
now
stigma. Yeah.
that's what it's becoming now with all this extra backlash that's happening. And it's like, none of us are like, we're not thinking that way. Whatever this is that's happening right now, like this isn't what we want. This isn't what
No, bad seeds are bad seeds, no
yeah.
matter who we
Like
I know we say
it's
that a
like
lot, but, like, that's the truth. Bad seeds are bad seeds no
but
matter where you are.
I'm never gonna not say that there's not a lot of pressure on gay people to be better. Like
Mhm.
you can't. We have so many things put upon us and so many like, you know, this is the reason why you can't be religious. This is the reason, like, this is what God said, don't do. This is what, blah, and if we don't show ourselves in the best shining light,
Right.
we're going to get shunned immediately, which is, it, I don't know, do better.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
don't have sex in the Senate. Don't, like, do better.
Mhm.
Because this is what makes us all look like crap
Yeah.
all the time.
Yep.
All
Yep.
right, we went through that. Let's go. Yeah. All right. Let's do this. These are a little bit funny. These are a little bit will bring us back for a second. But taxidermy deer, uh don't ask me about the name, but I don't know if it's male or female because I have no idea. So
Mhm.
I'm not gonna try to be but one question, and I'm assuming that it was for me, was can this dude handstand walk? And if you were talking about me, no, I can't handstand walk. I think I've gotten like 4 or 5 steps or at least like a 5 meter. I've crossed the 5 meter line at one point. But yeah, no, I'm not just handstand walking around my house.
Nope.
And then they let me know that my name doesn't help to figure out what gender I am. Right.
Mhm.
I get that. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, it's fine. My dad named me after his favorite football player, but it's not just me. There's 5 of us girls, and one of them is named Dominique, which was after Dominique Wilkins, which was
Yep.
his favorite basketball player. So
Right.
it I mean, yeah, sure, it doesn't help. It doesn't help that I was 6 feet tall and a football player and look like a football player with a back that you could fly a plane off of, and you name me Garrett. It was easier for my sister because she is very feminine, long hair, like just
Mhm.
whatever. And even though her name is Dominique, it doesn't affect her. So
Right.
I get
Right.
that. And can I come on your show? I don't know. Can you? Like,
Reach out if you want to.
I am very interested. You had a couple comments about when we were talking about police and your feelings about police officers and whatnot. So yeah, reach out, DM me, whatever. And this is gonna be one that, babe, I need you to help me kind of like navigate this one because I'm not exactly sure what he meant,
Yeah.
but it was Kenneth,
Okay.
right? And so he goes, I've seen some people that say straight people can't be included in the LGBTQIA, but they can support it. What's the deal with that? I'm not really I'm not
Wait, say it again.
right. Yeah. I've seen some people that say straight people can be included,
Can be?
can't, or, oh, sorry, no, can't be. I've
Okay.
seen some people say straight people can't be included in the LGBTQIA, which, yeah, I've
Yes.
definitely seen that
Yeah.
because that that's
LGBTQ.
yeah,
Yeah,
like that's exactly who they're trying to keep out,
yeah.
and that's who they're trying to educate and whatever.
When first it was just LGBT, just LGB. It was a place where we could find
Okay,
each
so
other.
maybe what he's saying is, I've seen some people that say straight people can't be included in the LGBTQIA, but they can support it. So maybe the people that say that straight people can't be in the LGBT support the fact, or maybe, yeah, I'm not really sure.
If you're talking about straight people supporting LGBT, yeah, then yes. But straight people,
Like, are straight people okay with not being able to be
probably not. Some
in
people.
the LGBT?
Some people probably not.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, we would have to try to get more context on that because I mean, you could go so many ways with that. Uh,
Yeah,
a straight heterosexual person being included in the LGBT, no, that's because literally it stands for gay, lesbian, and bisexual.
yeah, and
So,
every other. So a straight
right,
person wouldn't be considered
wouldn't be
marginalized.
wouldn't be considered
Yeah.
part of the group. But having support and being an ally for the community, whether you're straight or gay.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Yeah,
Well, because
maybe,
when I hear support,
but they're
I'm
al
thinking of an
yeah,
ally.
maybe they're allowed to support it. What's the deal with that? I mean, as a straight person, do you wanna be included in the, like, how do you wanna be included? Why? Like,
But that goes just back to, what's the definition? Like, you know what I mean? Like, not
may
saying that you can't be friends with, not saying that we all can't
or maybe
respect each
maybe
other.
he's just talking about the fact that, uh that straight people support the LGBTQ, but don't get to, like, be it doesn't really feel like they're a part, like, their community, or that they're recognized as allies. I don't know how to
I
say
mean,
it.
if that is what he's saying, if we want to speculate and go down that road, then yes, there are some people that don't believe that a straight person can actually be an
Be an
ally.
ally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
okay,
I
yeah.
can see that if that's kind of what you're saying. For me, I have straight friends that very much accept who I am, accept you, accept our relationship, accept our family. Um, I haven't experienced that. I experienced separation, I guess you would say, when I came out, where there were
Well, you're automatically, the minute you come out, you're automatically put into a different box.
yeah. So,
So,
I mean,
then all of a sudden, like, you know, I don't know.
I think that one would need a little bit more context,
Yeah.
but I mean, if we could just take it in different scenarios to say that there are some people of the LGBT community that don't believe that a heterosexual person can be an ally, I believe that statement's true for some people. But it also goes back to the whole conversation of like, do you have to agree with me 100%
Yeah.
to be able to support me? Do I have to agree with you 100% to be able to support you? I think that's part of the conversation too. Of like, I might not, a heterosexual person might have very strong religious beliefs. We'll just throw that out there as an example. That their personal beliefs cannot allow them to understand how two women could love each other and be together.
I just really wish I knew what he actually meant by this, because I feel like it would be a really good question.
Can you go back into the chat and
I
tag someone?
I I don't know.
Try that. See, go back in the chat and tag his handle and see if he gets that response. Like,
Ye
see if he gets that just to try to get more context because
I would I yeah. I don't know what, like, half of me wants to think that he is a like he's an ally
Mhm.
and doesn't feel like he's getting the
The props, the respect,
whatever.
the
I mean, you don't whatever. You don't need the props or respect, but just feels like, hey, you can't comment on this because you're not gay. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's something that people go through, even though you you support, you're there, you're like, hey, no, you shouldn't be treated like crap, blah blah.
yeah,
And then that group still is like,
fuck
yeah, but
you.
you can't actually have a voice and speak on this
Because you
and
don't know what it feels
because you're
like.
not
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So if he's asking that, yeah, I absolutely get that. And it's a horrible deal. Like it's an absolute Jody,
What's up?
what's up?
What's up? What's
Yellow.
up? Yellow.
um, but yeah, I would love to know what Kenneth meant by that because I feel like there's two different ways you can go into that. That's it. That's
It
probably
could
my favorite
also
one.
yeah, it could also be it very much could be I feel like I'm an ally, but I'm not being received like that. How do I be an ally right now?
But if you're straight, right, and you want to be like, hey, I don't care what you guys do. I'm not against you. I'm not whatever. I- And yeah, that that's again, that's the LGBT community right now, which again, I'm not in and don't feel like they don't care. They just want you and I'll say this hot take. They don't give a crap. They don't care if you agree with them. They don't care if you're an ally. If they just want you to believe what they believe. And that's crap. And that's not being an ally. That's just following some group blindly and I'm not there for that. I'm
Mhm.
not I still feel like I should be able to voice my opinion. I should still be able to say when I feel like something's wrong. I should still be able to have the conversation about it and not feel like I, I'm gonna just get shunned and my voice and is gonna get muted and yeah. That that was a good one by him. That was the one that I wanted to figure out and try to figure out, but I guess, yeah, I'll have to try to find, his Instagram and see if I can ask him what he meant by that.
Yeah.
Um,
Because I think it just could be many different things. I think you also made a really good point is that some people just might not know how right
yeah.
now. They might just
Uh,
not know how right now.
the next one was Vindicate.
Oh,
Yeah,
what's up?
love your clothes, bro.
Yeah.
Bam, always in Vindicate.
Mhm.
And he asked, and this was, I have to give you a little context because it wasn't just this like a just starting a what? Keep talking. Yes, ma'am, I will. Thank you, Jody. He asked this question, and I'll read the question, but let me give you the context first because it wasn't just a straightforward question. There was context to it. So, Sevon and I were talking about the 50 something year old dude that is swimming as a trans woman in 13-year-old girls swim races.
Mhm.
And I definitely didn't agree with that. I um, definitely didn't think that that was appropriate or I kind of asked just the question, why would you want to be in a bathroom with children? Why would you want to be racing with children? Blah, blah, blah. So Vindicate, asked me in your circles, is that the majority feeling? Um, I'm assuming he's asking me in the gay
Gay. The
community.
gay community. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is. I mean, especially amongst lesbians. I mean, I can't my gay men's circles are few and far between at this point.
Yeah.
I don't really.
Yeah, but the ones that I can think of
yeah.
also agree with the fact that
Yeah.
it's unsafe for
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, there's
Mhm.
very few gay people that I talk to that feel like encroaching on women's spaces, encroaching on children, and like not okay.
Yeah. I would say that I don't know, I feel like
I mean, I have a few that want to fight with me on gender identity, which
Yeah, I
I'm
was gonna
just
say
like,
that.
that's not.
But also too, I mean, to be honest, our gay circle is pretty small these days,
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know?
all the research that I do, all the podcasts I watch, all the I try to watch both. You know what I mean? I try to watch very conservative and very liberal, so I understand what both sides are kind of saying at the time.
Yeah.
And they're very. It's mostly what I can see. Um, to answer Vindicate's question, mostly what I can see is it's trans women for the most part. So men that want to uh, I don't even say it's mostly. I just wanna say that the the people who are bad are bad. There are
There's
there's
yeah.
trans women that aren't bad, that just wanna live their lives and not do that, but for most of yeah, fine. So for most of us in our circles, we don't want any of this crap. This crap is just bad for us. It's bad for us to just live and be normal
Yep.
and just walk through life, and most of us, no, we don't want this.
Yep.
This is just a I can't. And the most celebrity one that I can think of, if you ever wanna go look her or so if you he's trans woman, but he understands that he's a trans woman,
Mhm.
right? He doesn't think he's a girl, he doesn't think he can be pregnant, he doesn't like,
Who?
he just wants to be able that's his thing. He dresses as a woman, he entertains as a woman, um, and is Monroe Flame.
Oh,
If you ever wanna
Flame.
go find Flame on Instagram,
Yeah.
um, he he his brand is called He She because he knows he's a he,
Mhm.
right? There's no he'll answer he's the same as us, kinda. He'll answer any question you want, and he answers it with the utmost respect for women, the utmost, um and that's kind of the drag queens slash trans women that I
Yep.
remember.
Yep.
This whole new thing is just so, to answer Vindicate's question,
Yes.
most of us, yeah, no, we're we're not we're not into this. Um, yeah, I think we got there. And, so if there's any other questions or if you wanna reach out to us knowing that we'll answer these questions, you can always,
Yeah.
hit us up on DM, you know,
Yep.
ask questions in the comments. We're always live, always call us, always whatever.
Yep.
But, you know, that's we're open to any question. We're not afraid. It's fine. We'll figure it out. If we don't know the answer, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, so
Mhm.
thanks, guys. It was fun. Thank you, Jody and Jeffrey, for being there for me on Friday. I appreciate y'all. And we'll catch up with you soon. All right,
Alright. Bye, guys.
Clinton. Thanks.